Hello and welcome to the Ellenmade Book Club. Today I'm doing another tag, and ironically I'm pretty fast on doing this tag. It's called I'll get around to it later, which is usually me about most things. I was tagged by Pat at Book Chat with Pat Reney at Beyond Books, and then also by Suey at Suey's Book Panther. So I guess all of you know that it takes me a while to get around to things. Anyways, the tag was created by a book blogger called Quote Unquote, and I will leave links to everyone's channels and videos and the blog and all of that in the description. And let's head into the first question. Number 1. A classic book that you have been meaning to read forever but haven't read yet. I'm sure there are many. I don't read a lot of classics, and there aren't a lot that speak to me, and I can't think of one that I have been meaning to read forever. I do want to reread To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I read that in school sometime and loved it, and I want to read it again as an adult and see what I think of it now. I would also like to read The Color Purple by Alice Walker. That's one that I have had on my mind for a long time. And I would also like to read Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk. To me, it's kind of a classic. And so, yeah, I've seen and loved the movie, and I want to read the book. Yeah, that's the ones that I can think of. Number 2, a book on your shelf that you haven't read yet. All of these, and all of these. But one that I have been meaning to get to since I bought it earlier this year is Homegoing by Yak Yasi. And I don't think I'm gonna get to this year, maybe in December. Otherwise, I will read it in the beginning of next year. I need to pace myself a little bit with the heavy reads. And so, yeah, this is the book on my shelves that I really want to read, and I'm just figuring out the right timing for it. Number 3, a book that you recently got that you haven't read yet. So pretty much all of these books on these shelves I have bought in the last year. But the two that I have bought most recently are The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store by James McBride and Forgotten on Sunday by Valerie Perrin. Valerie Perrin, I think her name is in French. That's what they said on the audiobook. They both have great reviews. They both sound very interesting to me. Forgotten on Sunday is about a woman who works at a retirement home, and she talks to the people who live there, and she learns their stories, and in particular one woman's story, if I understand it correctly. And yeah, it just sounded very good to me. So this is one that I have gotten recently and haven't read yet, and it's so pretty. The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store, I think, was a very big deal last year in 2023. This is about a town called Chicken Hill, where immigrant Jews and African Americans live side by side, and there has been a crime of some kind, and I think bones are found and something unravels from there. And yeah, heard good things, and I'm very excited to read this one as well. Number 4, a book you have had forever but haven't read yet. I haven't had this forever, but I've had it for a really long time. I can't even remember when I got it, but I know that it was years and years ago, and that is The Long Way to Freedom, I think it's called, the Nelson Mandela biography. It's almost 600 pages, and the text is tiny. Like, I don't know if you can see how tiny that is. It's very small. I'm happy to have it, and I will get to it at some point. I might have to read it like 5 pages a day or something just to get it done, but it's it's a bit daunting. It's a difficult subject matter as well, and so I will read this at some point, but it's been a long time since I got it. Number 5, a book a friend recommended that you haven't read. So for this one, I thought of The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry by Gabrielle Sevin. And this was recommended to me by Suey at Suey's Book Panther in her non-cringy romance recommendations video that I will link below as well. She said it was a good book, and I found it secondhand very shortly after that, and I haven't gotten around to reading it yet, but I will at some point. And this luckily is a lot shorter and not at all as daunting. This is 268 pages in this little small Swedish translation, so that should be a lot easier to get through. Number 6, a book you're procrastinating on. Hours by Philip B. Williams. Still, this is also very daunting to me. It's almost 600 pages and it's very big and heavy and difficult subject matter. Again, I'm not sure how much heaviness there really is. It's related to slavery and people who are being freed from slavery and then trying to find their own freedom, but maybe finding a new form of bondage. And so, yeah, I'm expecting it to be a bit difficult to read as well. But I also think it's going to be magical and a good story and beautifully written. It's just the size of it that is a bit intimidating to me. And the fact that I did start to read it and didn't get very far, and then other books have just been like grabbing my attention more. And so this is just the one that is haunting me, and the longer I wait, the more difficult it gets. So yeah, this is a goal of mine to finish before the end of the year, but we will see. I couldn't finish it over the whole of the summer, so wish me luck. Another book that I'm procrastinating on is the 4th part in the Cemetery of Forgotten Books series by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. This is the series that starts with Shadow of the Wind, and then there is, let me see what the English books are called, The Angel's Game, and then there is The Prisoner of Heaven, and these 3 I have read and loved, and then there's a 4th book that I haven't read, and there's also a novella that's called The Rose of Fire, and that's like 2.5 in the series. And then there are some other books that are sort of related to this. The 4th book is called The Labyrinth of the Spirits, and then there's the novella, and then there's also like short stories connected to this, and it's all very confusing. But I do definitely want to read the 4th book in the series and the novella. So I'm procrastinating on this because I don't want this series to end. And even though there are like several other books that are related to this, I feel like the 4th book and the novella are sort of the main series. And yeah, I don't want it to end. There are other works by Carlos Ruiz Zafón, so I will look them up too. I also think I might have to reread this series, the first 3 books, so that I can enjoy the last part in, the best way possible. So yeah, that's why it's a bit daunting as well, I think. Number 7, the next book on your TBR. The next book on my TBR is probably going to be The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. I have this on audiobook. It's very short and very well loved. I've heard lots of good things. It's a woman who isn't feeling her best, but that's pretty much all I know. And yeah, that's the next book that I will head to. The last thing is to tag some people, and if you're watching this, you can consider yourself tagged. I would love to know what books you are procrastinating on, and can't wait to get to. And I'm also specifically tagging Nicky at My Messy Bookshelf, Bonnie at Bonnie Nicole Writes, Kat at The Cat Bite, Shawnna at Good Tired, Lauren at Love Lauren, Laura at Laura Reads, Gina at The Library Mouse Gina, Maeve at Maeve Ever Books, Melanie at A Dark Corner of the Library, Mimi at It's Mimi Duong. And as always, no pressure to do the tag, but I would love to hear your answers if you do. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. This one is about a woman who works in nursery home. What's it called? No. I have to look up what that's called too. I don't know anything about things sometimes. Okay. Okay. Stop